So let us see the next concept. It is general form of transient response. So from the overdamped equation, the output equation C of t will be equal to 1 minus e to the power of minus zeta omega nt. So this is a condition for underdamped system where the zeta value is less than 1, and we considered it for a unit step input. So this is the equation cos omega t omega dt, where omega d is damped natural frequency, zeta is damping factor, zeta divided by 1 minus zeta square into sine of omega tt. So this is a general form of equation where omega d is damped natural frequency, omega d is given by square root of 1 minus zeta square into omega n, and here omega n is undamped natural frequency. Then zeta is nothing but it is a damping ratio, so which is defined as the ratio of actual damping to the critical damping. So after this equation can be expressed in a simplified fashion taking square root of 1 minus zeta square as a common. Then it will be e to the power of minus zeta omega nt divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into, here square root of 1 minus zeta square goes here, into cos plus zeta into sine. This is in the form of sine of a plus b into sine of a minus b. So this will be written as sine of omega dt plus phi, where omega d is nothing but square root of 1 minus zeta square into omega n, and phi is a phase angle which is given by tan inverse of square root of 1 minus zeta square divided by zeta, and omega d will be square root of 1 minus zeta square into omega n. This is a standard form of transient response equation for the underdamped system with unit step input. So this is a standard form, and after converting this to a standard form, we will be defining some of the specifications. They are called as time domain specifications. In time domain specification, there are several things. Number one, it is rise time denoted by t suffix or. Then there is another thing, it is called as peak time denoted by Tp. Then maximum overshoot it is denoted by m suffix p. Then we have settling time this is denoted by Ts, and along with damping and undamping, that is also there here, and sometimes even delay time is also taken into consideration, which is T suffix D. So if I represent this in a graph, so this is time and this is the output C of t. Generally the characteristic of the underdamped system will be like this. Then here you will get a stable input. This is a mark. I will take this from this to here, where you will get the stable input. From that to initial point, it is called as settling time. We will call it as T suffix S. Here again outputs are quantified into two things. One is, this is 0.5 and another one is 1. So if I take the time required to reach 0.5, this is nothing but, this is delay time, which is known as T suffix D. So time required to reach half of its final value, that is nothing but delay time. Then the time required to reach the first peak, this time we will call it as, this is peak time. So here you are seeing the peak, this is a first peak, and the time required is nothing but, it is a peak time. Then generally this we will call it as overshoot, it is a maximum overshoot. So this term will be called as MP. It is a percentage of maximum overshoot. Then a settling time, this is a settling time. Another one is rise time. Rise time is the time in which the response of the system will reach 0 to 100 or 5 to 95 or 10 to 90%. That is nothing but rise time. So this is nothing but up to here. This is rise time. So these are the different specifications of the system in time domain specification. Let us see what is the definition of each quantity. First I will take the rise time, that is nothing but T suffix R. With reference to this I will write, it is the time required to reach, it is the time required to reach half of its, this is a rise time, this is the time required to reach to rise from 0 to maximum, 0 to 100%, it is also possible. Then 5 to 95%, that is also possible. Then there is another thing which is 10 to 90%. So whenever you case underdamped system, it will be reaching 0 to 100%. When you take overdamped, it is 5 to 95% of its final value. Time taken to rise from some percentage to the final value. Then peak time. So there is an expression, there will be expression for rise time. Rise time will be calculated like this. This is pi minus phi divided by omega d. This is the expression for rise time. In the exam they can ask definition and expression. You have to write this. Then peak time, this is denoted by Tp. First you have to write the graph, then you have to write the definition along with the expression. Peak time. Peak time is nothing but, it is the time required to reach first peak of the overshoot. This is the first peak of the overshoot. So time required to reach first peak of the overshoot. So how much amount of time it will take to reach first peak, that is nothing but peak time. The expression for peak time is given by Tp is equal to pi divided by omega d. So this is an expression for peak time. Next, number 3, it is maximum overshoot. This is denoted by MP. As the name itself indicates, maximum overshoot, reference to maximum. The oscillation reference position we will take. So oscillation reference position will be generally, it is nothing but C of t. So it is maximum overshoot value of response curve measured from unity. It is maximum value of response curve measured from unity. So this is maximum overshoot, and maximum overshoot will be measured in terms of percentages. The reference is C of t minus C of infinity divided by C of infinity. C of infinity is steady state response output. C of t is time response output. So with respect to steady state, we will take, and also this is also equal to e to the power of minus zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into pi. This is another expression for maximum overshoot. So we will take transient response and steady state response, we will compare, we will take percentage of those. That is nothing but it is the maximum overshoot. And then after that, settling time. Settling time denoted by Ts. Settling time, it is the time taken to get steady state output. It is the time taken to get the steady state output. It is the time taken to reach steady state output. So generally settling time will be 2%, 4%. Settling time will be calculated based on 4 by zeta omega n. So this zeta omega n is nothing but time response or time constant. So this is a settling time. Here you are getting steady state output. How much time it will take to reach the steady state output, that itself is a settling time. Then another one is the delay time or time delay, we will call it as, it is denoted by TD. Delay time, it is the time taken to reach half of its final value. It is the time taken to reach half of its final value. So delay time, it is denoted by TD. There is no such expression for delay time. In the syllabus, you don't have derivation for this. Just you have to remember the formula and you have to solve the problem. Let us solve the first problem in time domain specification. Before that, let us recall the basic formulas what we have studied. The basics what we have studied is the settling time. Settling time is nothing but 4 divided by zeta omega n. This is settling time, which is denoted by Ts. Then we have studied rise time. Rise time, which is T suffix r. T suffix r is given by pi minus phi divided by omega t. Then after that, we have studied peak time. Peak time, T suffix p. Peak time is given by pi divided by omega t. So omega d is damped natural frequency and maximum overshoot, which is denoted by MP. Maximum overshoot is defined like e to the power of minus zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into pi. So for better understanding, I will write like this: exponential of minus zeta into pi divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square. Also, maximum overshoot can also be calculated using C of t minus C of infinity divided by C of infinity. That means transient response, time response minus steady state. That is also we can get the maximum overshoot. These are the formulas. Apart from this, the general procedure is always common. They will give a characteristic equation and closed loop function s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. This is a common. We have to compare this equation with characteristic equation of closed loop transfer function. Then omega d is nothing but square root of 1 minus zeta square into omega n. This is for underdamped system if zeta is less than 1. Let us solve this problem and we will be knowing everything. What is the data? An unity feedback system is characterized by an open loop transfer function. Here we don't want open loop transfer function. The given is open loop transfer function. Here I want closed loop transfer function. What is closed loop transfer function? Therefore, closed loop transfer function C of s divided by R of s will be G of s divided by 1 plus G of s into H of s. Here H of s is equal to 1. Since it is a unity feedback, I will not write this. So K divided by s square plus 10s plus K. So this is the equation I have got. So s square plus 10s plus K. This I will compare with s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. This is the first thing I have to see. First thing I have to obtain what is the characteristic equation, then I have to solve. Other data what they have given is you need to determine the value of K and the damping ratio is given as 0.6. Determine settling time, peak time and overshoot. These things you have to calculate. Let us solve. First let us calculate omega n and zeta first. So I will compare these two. 2 zeta omega n s is equal to 10. You leave that s. So calculate what is zeta here. Here what is the value of zeta? Zeta value is 0.6 they have given. 0.6 into omega n is equal to 10. What is the value of omega n? Omega n is nothing but it is the undamped natural frequency. The value of omega n is nothing but it is 8.33 radian per second. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Yes, it is 8.33 radian per second. Then we need to calculate the value of gain also. I will equate omega n square is equal to k, or k is equal to omega n square. Therefore, k is equal to 8.33 whole square. So 8.33 whole square. What is the value of this? If you make a square, you will get around 69.44. So first value you have determined. Then I need to calculate what is settling time, peak time, overshoot. In settling time, zeta omega n is there. In peak time, omega d is there. Omega d is there. What is omega d? We have to calculate. So I will calculate omega d. Omega d is equal to square root of 1 minus zeta square into omega n. 1 minus what is zeta? 0.6. 0.6 square into omega n is 8.33, and if you solve this, omega d is around 6.64 radian per second. Here they have not asked damped natural frequency, but always have a habit of calculating like this. First let us calculate the important things. Here they have asked. One is settling time. Settling time Ts. Settling time is calculated 4 divided by zeta omega n. 4 divided by 0.6 into 8.33. So you will be getting around 0.8 seconds. So this is a value of settling time what you have got. Then next is peak time or time taken to reach maximum overshoot. That is also same thing here. Peak time will be Tp will be equal to pi divided by omega d. Pi divided by omega d is 6.64. It is around 0.47 seconds. Next, maximum overshoot. Just this is all about substitution. Nothing is extra. Maximum overshoot is nothing but it is exponential of minus pi zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square. So in the calculator you have to write what is e power. So exponential of minus pi into 0.6 divided by square root of 1 minus 0.6 square. So you will get value around time as 0.09478 multiply by 100. So you will get 9.478%. These are the answer they have asked. So this is answer number 1. This is second answer and this is third answer. So this is the next type of problem. Here they have given the response of the second order servo mechanism to a step input. This is very important. Step input. In the step input R of t is equal to A. Is as shown in the figure. So they have given the response of the system directly. Then find the values of damping coefficient. You have to calculate what is damping coefficient, zeta, settling time. You have to calculate Ts, natural frequency, that is omega t, undamped natural frequency, omega n, and also you have to obtain the transfer function. Here the transfer function is you have to obtain C of S by R of S. So these are the data they have given, but we have to extract what is the data here. In order to extract data in the graph, you have to know what exactly the definitions of time domain specifications. If you don't know the definition, you cannot extract data, gone. So please carefully observe the values. Here they have given 1.5. The 1.5 is having the maximum overshoot. So this is 1.5 here. They have given C of t values. So in other words, what is that is, this is maximum overshoot. Maximum overshoot is, it is crossed 1.5 minus 1. This is a steady state value divided by 1. So the value of MP will be 0.5. This is based on maximum input minus steady state input divided by steady state input. This is in the form of C of t minus C of infinity divided by C of t. So like this we have extracted data here. And also the time corresponding to maximum overshoot is this 3 they have given. The value of Tp is given as 3 seconds. So these two are the manipulated data they have given. You have to extract based on definition. Let us calculate what is zeta using MP. Maximum overshoot is nothing but exponential of minus zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into pi. So MP is given as 0.5. This is exponential of minus zeta into pi square root of 1 minus zeta square. I will send exponential this side. It will be ln of 0.5 minus zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square. Even pi also I will send this side. Ln of 0.5 divided by pi. The value is around minus 0.2206 minus zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square. So whole things will get cancelled. I will be simplifying square root of 1 minus zeta square into 0.2206 equal to zeta. Here what you have to calculate? You have to calculate the value of zeta. So since there is a square, I will square on both sides. So 1 minus zeta square whole square into 0.2206 square is equal to zeta square. So find out the value of zeta. The value of zeta is calculated and found out it is around 2.215. This is the value of zeta what you have got. So the value of zeta is around So after this, the value of zeta is around 0.215, which is less than 1. Very important thing. Since zeta is less than 1, this system is nothing but it is underdamped system. Why this is important? Because you have to write the overall transfer function of the system. After finding out this, let us calculate the time domain specifications here. We calculated zeta, then we need to know what is omega n. So how to calculate omega n? Omega n is calculated based on omega d. Here omega d is also unknown, but we know the Tp. What is Tp? 3 seconds. Tp is equal to, what is the expression for peak time? Pi divided by omega d. What is Tp? 3 is equal to pi by omega d. If I take omega d here, so what is the value of omega d from this expression? It is found to be 1.0472 radian per second. This is damped natural frequency. After calculating this, we know that omega d will be equal to square root of 1 minus zeta square into omega n. Omega d 1.0472 and zeta is nothing but square root of 1 minus 0.6 square. What is the value of zeta here? 0.215 square. 0.215 square into omega n. Omega n is nothing but we don't know. That all we need to calculate. So from this equation, what is omega n? Omega n is calculated, it is around 1.0723 radian per second. So use calculator, you will get these values. This is undamped natural frequency, omega n. This is undamped. And this is damped natural frequency. Then after calculating this settling time, we need to ask damping coefficient. We have calculated, this is a damping coefficient. Settling time we have to calculate. Settling time, how to calculate? Settling time Ts will be equal to 4 divided by zeta omega n. So 4 divided by 0.215 into 1.0723. So settling time is around 17.35 seconds. This is the settling time value. After this, I need to find out what is the transfer function. So what is the transfer function? Here typically the transfer function is nothing but C of s by R of s. How to calculate it? They have not given any G of s, they have not given any H of s. We know the response of the system for second order with unit step input will be C of t will be 1 minus e to the power of minus zeta omega n t square root of 1 minus zeta square into sine omega t plus phi. This is the response of the second order system. By this you can calculate C of s and then you can calculate what is the final equation. Otherwise we know the standard form of closed loop transfer function C of s by R of s. This is one way. This is another way of writing this. We know omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Substitute the values. What is omega n here? Omega n 1.0723 whole square divided by s square common. What is 2 zeta omega n? So 2 into 0.215 into 1.0723 s plus 1.0723 whole square. After this, you will be getting the values 1.1498 divided by s square plus 2 into 0.215 into 1.0723, it will be around 0.41 s plus 1.1498. So this is the equation of closed loop transfer function for the second order system with a given unit step input. So this is a final closed loop transfer function. By this also you can obtain, from this also you can obtain. So I suggest you to opt this one. Thank you.